Good evening, welcome to NXTGEN Season 15. This is the Modern Touring Cars. It's round number 4 from Snetterton 300. So we start our 5-minute qualifying. Let's have a look at the points standings whilst they do their outlaps. So in first place is NGR Fraser on 50 points, followed by Scooby G on 49. Amy has 46, with Jack on 42. Ginge has 40, Lee on 34. D Whitehouse 7 is on 32, with Omega 29. Light Blade has 24, Web User Johnny 20. Has the Baz has 15, Brent Fry 13. Brewster 11, Tro 9, Danzo 8, Tim 78 is on 6, Royston 6, and Shadows for DBS has 5 points. We have a full lobby of drivers tonight, which is always good to see. So we have Bruce Lee Harding returning. He has gone for the Mercedes. Royston is in a Mercedes, or is he in that BMW? He's in the BMW. Has the Baz. He's in the BMW. Scooby G is in a BMW. Jack in the Opel Astra. Cam123 is in a Mercedes, I believe. No, he's in a BMW. I'm proving wrong. Shadowstalker in an Astra. Burn Fry is in the BMW. Fraser in the Mercedes. Jamie, Mercedes. Tro is in an Opel Astra. Web User Johnny. No idea what he's in there. I think he's in the yes, he's in the Mercedes. Tim is also in the Mercedes. Omega has a Mercedes. And Lee has a BMW. And Ginge in the RAC looking BMW. So we're here at the Snetterton 300 circuit. Should produce some good action. And someone sets a time from the outlap. That's Scooby G, 2:05.5. That'll be a bit quicker than that, I am sure. As he looks almost down the inside of the Mercedes there. And the Mercedes just lets him go, thinking I can't be bothered to get involved with that one. Bruce Lee Harding returning to the series after a few races in the second half of last season. He's one to look out for. He's a bit of a wild card underdog. Can be very, very quick. I almost expect him to be probably battling for a top 5 position here. But obviously you just don't know until you get to the race in his Mercedes. Jack in the Opel. It'll be interesting how he does his open plan a little bit. Lots of fast straights, but lots of corners where the Astra's good in. So it could be nicely balanced. He'll also be the first man to set a proper time. So let's see what he can do as he goes through Coram and into Murray's. And I believe that's Jack disconnected. That's a big, big shame actually for Jack. As Ginge puts in a 1:54.9, he'll have one more lap here. Royston, what can he do? So Royston puts in a 1:59. Who's the top? Scooby G, a 1:54.0. This, I'm expecting it to be a fairly BMW heavy circuit. They give top 4 in BMWs. There's Jamie. Bruce sets a 1:56.8. So he's not too far off the pace of Jamie there. Tim, a good time by him. 1:59.3. So it looks like everyone's going to get an extra lap in, which is good to see, potentially. Who's out of the back? Yeah, that's Burton Fry. He's definitely on a lap, so... Scooby G, you see the little lag spikes where Jack disconnected, unfortunately. Don't know what sort of lap time he was on for. So we get to the end of the laps. Ginge next across the line. Someone doing a start, that's like Showstalker. Ginge puts it second on the grid at 154.4. Has the Baz next across the line. By saying next, he's next on the list. He's currently in third place. He puts it on par at 153, but Scooby G at 153.5 takes that back. Cam in 5th, NGR Jamie. Bruce is not going to be setting another lap time. NGR Lee can't go any higher than 7th. No one, not really many people going higher. As True 246 crosses the line. So anyone else stood across yet? Burnt Fry. So Scooby G sets a 153.5. Followed by Has the Baz, Ginge, Cam123 Diz, Jamie, WRX, Fraser. Bruce will start 7th. Lee 8th. Omega 9th, Tim 10th, Royston 11th, Burnt Fry 12th, Tro in 13th, Shadowstalker 14th, and Webby's Johnny did not set a time. I don't know whether that was because of a penalty. I believe so. I'm just going to quickly send Jack an invite to the party, once we've got a little bit of time on our hands. So here we go then. We're going to have the... Someone has made a major jump start. That's just a bit of lag. We've got 3 red lights. We are green as Snetterton. And it's a good start by Has the Baz against Scooby. But Scooby in the second phase gets away nicely. Here comes NGR Lee, who's in 4th. Down the inside, he'll make it up into 3rds. We've got BMW 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not quite. Jamie's in 5th. Cam down to 6th. Bruce still in 7th place. Hello, Jack. And not in great circumstances either, I'm afraid.
I'll wait until I've loaded in. Carry on.
Jamie, who's that behind? That's Tim just running. Tim running up in 8th place at the moment at the start of this race. It's good stuff by him. Bruce is all over the back of Cam. Scooby G leads from Has, from NGR, from Ginge, from Jamie, from Cam, from Bruce. Tim up in 8th. A great start by me. Seems to like this track. Johnny from last on the grid in 15th. He's up into 9th currently. Shadowstalker nearly going wide. He does go wide onto the grass. Tro 246 now maybe looking for a move around the outside of Oggies. Fraser down in 12th. Our championship leader has actually gone for a roll by the looks of it. He's had a massive accident. I don't know what happened to Fraser, but he has had an absolute monster.
He was 13th and Burnt Fry 14th there, so I wonder if they've been involved. Burnt Fry's got some damage to the back of his car.
Omega damage to the front as well. I wonder if Fraser got loose, maybe through turn 1 or something like that, and maybe he's been T-boned. But for sure, not ideal. Bruce has made the move on Cam. He's up into 6th. Now, obviously, Bruce came in second half of the season of season 14, looked quite good for pace, and I think he could challenge Jamie here for 5th.
We'll see how things go. He drove well in season 14, didn't he? He was really competitive at times, so it'll be interesting to see his pace, especially in the Mercedes, because I don't think, did he drive in the can, didn't he, last season like everyone else, so...
Yeah, but I know for a fact he quite enjoys front-wheel drive, so it should be quite good for him. But we'll see how it pans.
Currently, Jordan, because I've just got 0 seconds for everyone at the moment, so obviously that's not correct.
Let's run through it then. Scooby has 0.4 of a second to Has the Baz, who has got an extra 0.7 on Lee, who's got half a second on Ginge. Cam down the inside of Bruce.
I was just about to say, well spotted, Jordan. That was a great, lit the stamp and send it move from Camders there.
Yeah,
Bruce.
Into Agostini. It's a good place for overtaking, and actually that's a great move from Cam, because the brakes on that BMW are not the best.
Not at all.
Oh, Bruce
just held it.
Good save coming out of Oggies. He's gone wide through Williams though.
He has. I mean, I was looking before the race in regards, I remember from last season's gone by, as Has the Baz starts challenging Scooby. This is a BMW circuit, regardless. I think Cam will catch up to the back of Jamie and get past him as well. It's going to be a fight between these 5. Well, it's a 3-man group at the moment. Ginger's gone off in the background.
Just a bit wide into Coram, but Has the Baz typically in the same blinking livery as Scooby.
And they're all in green and red as well, apart from Lee.
Who's got yellow.
So that separates them a little bit.
But Has the Baz flipping it. I thought from that angle he was really late on the brakes, but just the angle deception going into Riches, into Montreal.
Lee very deep on the brace, going to lose a bit of time as well. Oh, hello, there's a move potentially for Has the Baz around the outside. Can he pull it off?
Up to Palmer, off camber, not the easiest around the outside, doable, but not this time around.
Oh, Scooby closes him out.
This is good driving from the pair.
On the ball,
there's bit of touch, yeah.
Has the Baz lifted out? This brought Lee back into the game.
He's sideways. Hello.
What a save. If he can hold it, he just needs to slow down. He does. Loses the place to Lee, but that could have been a lot worse. Great driver from Has the Baz. I was just about to mention Camders has caught the back of NGR Jamie too.
I love the cameramen, they're so responsive. Cam 123 days onto the Bentley straight, on the back of the Mercedes Benz. You have to think this is going to be pretty easy move.
There he is, up to 5th. And he'll get it done before the braking zone, which he has done.
I mean, that's I was going to say that's crucial going into the Nelson Brundle complex, is to close the door and get back online, because there's a horrible braking zone into there.
Now he's got Ginge ahead of him, who's fallen away from the lead trio. I think in terms of raw pace, it looks like Cam might be able to go with the front 3 if they keep scrapping. Hopefully Ginge can go with him as we go back to the battle between Lee and Has the Baz. On board with Paz.
Down to Riches for the 4th time of 10. Better line from Has the Baz. He should get a nice run going towards Montreal. At least giving him the space to the inside. That's surprising.
Oh, he's moved over in the braking zone. Did you see that, Jordan? There was just a slight movement by the look of it from Lee just to cut across him. And I think that really, I know has pushed him slightly wide, but I don't think there's much else he could have done. They're still side by side, but I think Has got it done.
Has got it done through Palmer. Yeah, I think Lee. I think Lee wasn't expecting him to. Oh, hello. Bit of a lock up from Lee, trying to get the position back.
Lee did wait for him. To be fair, that was a mistake. Cam's now all over the back of Ginge.
In this BMW affair.
And Jamie's made a mistake as well. He's 6 seconds behind. He's right with Bruce now.
There they are, and he's made another mistake through Hamilton. Through Oggies. Yeah, although it looked a bit more like on the unloaded tyre, so not too bad.
Fraser's done a good recovery drive after being quite far behind as well. He's up to 8th now after being 12th and quite some way behind.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, for anyone new here, don't worry, that damage will not affect him. It is only visual.
I sadly can't see the damage, and his car looks pretty clean, to be honest.
No, to be honest, if you look at the stream, it's an absolute wreck. He's got no rear wing, the front's mashed in. And
I've just got light scuff on my front screen. That's genuinely the case.
Meanwhile, near the back, this is looking like a fantastic battle.
Got Tro, Omega, Shadow Stalker, Royston involved. Royston's a bit further back, but Tim at the back of it. Tim's made a mistake because he was running 8th, wasn't he, earlier on? He was.
He's gradually fallen back, but he's still hanging on in there at the moment, and it's great to see.
Yeah, fair play to Shadow Stalker as well. He's running to, that's a big amount of curb from Tim as he goes through the final corner. But Shadow Stalker, 10th place, top 10. He's got a job on his hands to try and keep Tro and Omega behind him. But really well done from the guy who's currently the lead Astra.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, top Astra at the moment, obviously not very nice for you, because obviously I think you'd have been up there. Bruce has just fallen back a bit. Scooby's got this gap here of 2.8 seconds, pretty much 3 now.
Yeah, I think they lost about 1.8 seconds between Hasdabaz and Lee Batman before. So now that Scooby's got a gap, in nobody's like, he'll probably pull away. But
the other thing as well is Cam and Ginge are catching up because of the typical Project Cars slipstream, because not only does the car behind get the slipstream, but the car in front actually gets a push as well. It's a really random mechanic, but that's how it works.
See, I've never really felt that effect as a driver myself. I know people have mentioned it a number of times, but I've not noticed it really as such. But I believe you, Jordan.
No, it genuinely, that's what it is. It's really, really weird. The driver in front, even though it's not as much of an advantage, they still get that little push, and that is why these two are doing 54s together. Obviously, Cam is slightly quicker, but these two doing 54s together and are really roping in Lee at this rate of knots.
And Lee, to be fair, is not too far behind from Hasdabaz. It's only, just under a second? That's going to be close towards the end. I'm just looking further down the order. Shadow Stalker's now got NGR Omega half a second, 7/10 behind him. Tro and Tim have now dropped back. Royston's on his own in 14th. I think that's a cause from earlier on. And Burntfry's car looks smashed. But Jordan, is it squeaky clean, or am I wrong?
No, it's pretty bashed in. The front right's bonnet's slightly creased up. He's lucky to have his rear wing still on.
I've got
that's at an angle.
I've got the front left on my side that's broken. So
in fact, on mine, it's mainly front right, but the whole front end is squished. It's like a 3 Series compact, but the wrong way compact.
Oh, he's gone in too deep. He's gone off.
That's a big spin across the Nelson Brundle complex.
He's done well, to be fair, to keep that pointing in a straight line, but that BMW is really tricky. Shadow Stalker, obviously, I mentioned before with Omega, he's right there.
And he's gone wide.
I think he'll be okay, though, to get into the hairpin.
Into Agostini, yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Can't leave the door open like that, because Omega...
But it's really weird. Agostini's really weird. If you take the wider line, you do actually get a nice drive off into Hamilton. So if you can keep it there, you can actually benefit. But he's leaving the door open at Oggies, and he's locked up for good measure.
And that might be the end of that in terms of Shadow Stalker's potential top 10 chances. He's right at the back. He's fantastic through there. Absolutely brilliant.
He's practically pushing Omega through the corner.
Looking at the pace differentials between everyone, and I'm looking at just an update as well. Bruce has got past Jamie, he's up to 6th now. And you look at the speed of the BMWs compared to the Mercedes at the moment, the 154s that last time out. Best Mercedes driver was a 56 55, and that's Johnny, who's been really impressive as of late. That's a huge gap, 2 seconds between the pace between that BMW up front. I think, amazingly, the Astra would have actually slotted itself in the middle with a 55.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's a weird one really, that Astra, because round here it's going to lose time down the straight, but it's going to gain a lot of it through that middle section of the Snetterton 100, because it's just nadgery through the corners.
You say that, that's actually not the case. It's actually, what's the right-hander before the long straight?
Which one?
The back straight, rather.
The Bentley straight. That's Williams. That corner. Oggies into Williams.
Through the bomb hole, that last bit, and through the first corner, the Astra's really, really great. But in slow-speed corners, the Astra really struggles. This is the corner I mean. And Lee's dropped to 5th. He's made a mistake.
Yeah, Cam's also passed Ginge. We've got a retirement. I don't know who has retired, but someone has.
Is it Burnt Fry?
It could well be. Yes, I think it is. Burnt Fry retirement here on lap number 7.
Sort of just petered out at the moment, hasn't it? Because everyone's sort of closing back in on one another again after the earlier mistakes. Although I say that, Has the Baz has now closed that 3-second gap that Scooby had from earlier.
I think Scooby's made a mistake on this lap because they were pretty much dead level last lap. And there's a lot of time for Scooby to lose.
He has. Big time loss. That's, 3.4 seconds. Scooby was flying up the road, and now that Has the Baz got a sniff of a chance, but when you know he's going to try and go for it.
I mean, these two drivers are notorious for sending one down the inside or round the outside.
Or stubborn defence as well, so I think a case of unstoppable object versus the immovable... unstoppable force versus the immovable object is going to be something that happens here, so I don't want to jinx it, but watch out for what Cam ends up with. But the pressure's on Bruce now because he's got a whole gaggle of cars coming with him.
Touch of brakes through Palmer to get the car settled. He runs a bit wide, bit of understeer. It's really weird because the Mercedes actually handle better in the slipstream. So Jamie's going to have a look around the outside of Agostini. Switchback potential. He's got the speed. Has he got the overlap into Hamilton? The answer is no.
I've got to say, and one driver who's standing out to me in that Mercedes is actually it's not Bruce, it's not Jamie, it's not Fraser. Web user Johnny is having a fantastic race, fastest of the Mercedes last time out, and he's been consistently quick from what I can tell from the times all the way through the race. Yeah,
he's not exactly lost the back end of this train, and if anything, he's gradually catching back up to it, which is always good news for us watching.
And he's up on his best lap too.
Meanwhile, it looked like Tro and Royston were close together. I think Royston may be making a mistake. And has lost a lot of time. He's now only got 2 laps to pull that back and make the move. This is looking more and more impossible. We'll also apologise because in the Group A1s I thought we were going to Donington rather than Snetterton, which is quite amusing.
Look, the gap now, this is the fight really where it's at currently. Jamie putting the pressure on. Fraser is just over a second behind this as well. Fraser's going to be, before the end of this lap, in fact, look at that, it's already 7 tenths now. This is a three-way fight, and if anything goes wrong, Johnny's there to pick up the scraps.
I mean, it could turn four-way fight if Johnny keeps his pace up. But, I mean, as you know, I know Bruce Lee quite well. I know how he drives, how he defends, and Jamie trying to look in the mirror, trying to get in the mirror as a Bruce, isn't going to work. I know that for a fact. Bruce is quite good. It doesn't matter how much you fill his mirrors. If he doesn't think he doesn't need to defend, he won't. If he does, he will. It's that simple. He's locked up a little bit into Oggies, but he's got away with it.
I've got to say, Fraser's half a second behind this as well. There he is.
Jamie a little bit wide. Although Bruce not getting a good run out of Williams. Here comes Jamie down the Bentley straight. This is not going to be an easy move.
I think he's going to have him before the corner.
Just maybe, yeah. Bruce backs out. Oh, a bit of contact
Bruce
behind.
Squarely under the brakes.
I think he was trying to get a tighter line into Nelson and maybe try and hoping that Jamie took, because Jamie took a lot of speed into Nelson. It was well stopped in the end. I can see what Bruce was trying. It didn't quite work though.
Oh, Bruce has run wide, and that's a simple position for Fraser.
In all fairness, though, considering, I mean, Bruce hasn't really driven project cars. I mean, he's participated in the Wednesday leagues, which are completely different cars to this. Other than that, he's not really done a lot. So considering this is his first time back in the car since season 14, I think he's done well. I mean, it's not really a bad thing getting overtaken.
Just one thing I've just spotted. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jordan.
No, it's fine.
I think Lee has had a penalty. I've just seen him come out of the pits. He's in 9th. Yeah, I saw him coming out of the pits on the as we were talking through about, you know, Bruce and his very credited, you know, first drive back since last season. But I think Lee's had a penalty and we haven't been known about it.
But the only thing you can get would be a drive-through, because there's no track limits.
I wonder if he's jumped the start.
Well, no, because he'd have had to take that penalty in the first 3 laps.
No, he doesn't have to. On Project Cars, he wouldn't have to. He can keep driving until that last lap.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I think that's something to have a look at post-race, but here he is.
Yeah. I mean, a pretty perfect drive from Scooby G once he was in the lead. Nice little win to boost his championship. Scooby G wins at Snetterton, followed by Has the Baz, followed by Cam, a great drive into 3rd there. Ginge, a credible 4th place against strong opposition. And Jamie is under pressure from Fraser going into Murray's.
Fraser's trying it. Oh,
drag race, he's got the slipstream.
I don't think it'll be enough.
The line's a long way down this straight, but it isn't going to be enough. You're right. I was hoping he'd get a better exit, but Jamie 5th, Fraser 6th, Bruce credible 7th on return. Webby's at Johnny just about pips Lee there.
Did he, or has that?
I don't know. Now we want to look at post race as well. Omega 10th. I know the best way actually to find out whether that is correct or not. Where is Njali Stream? Shadowstalker, a great result by him in that Astra.
Really well done, really well driven from Shadowstalker. Tro coming home in 12th and Royston 13th too.
So Scooby G takes first from Cam123 Diz, from Has the Baz, from Ginge, and yes, it is. Jamie 5th, Fraser 6th, Bruce 7th. It's not web user Johnny in 8th. It is Lee in 8th. I've just confirmed via his own stream. Johnny 9th, Omega 10th. It's a bit of a weird one for Omega this season. He's been quit. Not quite on it. He's taken a season out, so but he's not quite getting back into it like he used to. Shadowstalker 11th, Royston 12th, Tro in 13th, and Tim in 14th. Burntfire retiring after lap 5.
I think one thing to point out with with Omega, and I was speaking with him before the races started tonight, he hasn't really had the chance to practice this season. He's just trying to use these 3 races on a Monday night just to try and get himself reacquitted with racing. So I think you can see the flashes in pace in each league he's taken part in. I think he said to me that he's missing the consistency, but I think given time he'll get there.
Yeah,
he's not a champion for nothing.
No, exactly. But it just seems like it's just taking him that a little bit longer. I mean, I think his second half could be quite strong. I wonder whether he might just do a little bit more practice in that break week. and potentially put on a really strong second half, because it isn't easy getting back into it. Not really, especially when the competition is this tight. And if you think about it, the last car Omega drove in this league was the Megane, not the Mercedes.
I think, if you want to give, credit for, drivers who stood out today, I think Cam, fantastic job. For some reason, it's marked him as second. He was definitely third.
He's third, yeah.
Way behind has the badge for some reason. I don't know why that's listed.
Project cars.
Yeah, Fraser had a great recovery drive considering he was quite far behind.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fraser gets my drive of the day for that. To recover from that sort of accident is very impressive. But
I think fifth probably would have been the best he could have got anyway, considering the advantage of the BMWs.
Oh, without a doubt. Next up, round number 5, we're heading stateside to Watkins Glen. I believe that's the GP loop. So that should be quite good. Again, probably a bit of a BMW heaven around there with the straights. But we'll find out next week. Next up, me and Jack are competing against each other for once in the Clios. Although I say competing, Jack runs off in the distance and I try and catch up to everyone. But, I mean, we're going around to Snetterton 200, which is going to be an absolute belter to watch from my point of view. But, Jack, thank you for joining me after your unfortunate disconnect.
Wasn't even a disconnect either, it was a blue screen. Even more frustrating.
But either way, thank you for joining us. Obviously, I know it's not really easy having that sort of thing happen and then coming straight back in. And yeah, from the Modern Touring Cars, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week when we head to America. Enjoy the rest of your evening.